Welcome to the City of Miami Commission meeting for November 20th, 2025. I'm so happy to see all of you here. We are going to start our meeting, as we always do, with recognitions for folks that have done special things in the City of Miami. We are going to begin with Cassandra, who is representing Prematurity Awareness Month. Prematurity Awareness Month is a March of Dimes collaborative effort. And I want to say that this is very important because 1 out of 10 babies are born premature. And my nieces, I have twin nieces, they were born premature. And one was maybe a little less than 2 pounds, and the other one was just at 2 pounds. And I'm thankful to say today that they are 8 years old and as rambunctious as anything. And without this kind of awareness, they may not have made it. And I mean, they were in my hand, tiny. They spent maybe 2-3 months in the NICU. They were born in Tallahassee, and that's when I learned about skin-to-skin contact, yes, and all of that. So this is important to share and to bring awareness to this issue, and thank you for that. I'm going to read a little bit of the proclamation because not everybody is aware of this, and even to help prevent prematurity. I myself, for my daughter, who is a graduate of UCF, I'm not going to say her age. Now I'm not going to say her age, but my pregnancy, I was put on bed rest from April, and she wasn't born until August. Yes, so growing a human is not easy. Growing a human is not easy, and we need things like this, organizations like the March of Dimes, to help us get through that. And it says, whereas moms and babies face serious health risks, and March of Dimes fights for their health through research, education, advocacy, and programs, and whereas March of Dimes has developed a collaborative model to study and prevent preterm birth through groundbreaking research at 5 prematurity research centers. And whereas March of Dimes is committed to mobilizing the nation and amplifying the voices of women and families, and whereas more than 1 in 10 babies is born premature each year in the state of Florida, representing 10.7% of all state births. And whereas in Florida, March of Dimes has worked extensively to improve the health of moms and babies across Florida through education, community programs, advocacy, helping ensure every baby has a healthy start. And whereas March of Dimes looks forward to partnering with the City of Miami in response to the continued maternal and infant health crisis. Whereas the month of November is recognized as Prematurity Awareness Month, and November 17th is recognized as World Prematurity Day to raise awareness of this crisis. And now, our Mayor, Francis Suarez, and all of my colleagues, Commissioner Rosado, Commissioner Pardo, myself, do hereby extend special recognition to March of Dimes in Miami, Florida, and proclaim November Prematurity Awareness Month.
Thank you. I'd like to take a moment to thank the mayor, chairwoman, and of course the City Commission for proclaiming November as Prematurity Awareness Month. I'm not here in my official title as Vice Mayor for the City of North Miami. I'm here today as a mom who had a premature baby last year, 2 pounds, 12 ounces, 60 days in the NICU, a lot of kangarooing, but after, 1 day in the NICU was 1 day too many. And by bringing awareness to what mothers and families are facing throughout South Florida with the work of March of Dimes, we have Sarah here, who's their senior development with March of Dimes. The work that they do it's amazing. And to this commission, I thank you for bringing awareness, and of course to her godfather over there as well. So my baby would not have been here if it wasn't for the amazing doctors at Memorial, and to any family who has need, March of Dimes is here. We're here to be your support.
Thank you. We are now going to recognize David Zarko. Is he here? Where is he? Come on up. Are you sure? Okay, we're going to pass this one and get to the next one. Come on. Community Police Relations Foundation, which is very important. Come on. For our men in blue. We have an amazing police force in the city of Miami, and this proclamation is recognizing Community Police Relations Foundation. The Community Police Relations Foundation, CPR Foundation, is a nonprofit dedicated to improving and strengthening relationships between law enforcement and the communities they serve, which is so important. The city of Miami has such a robust community policing initiative. I know in District 5 and in all of the other districts, because each one of our commissioners has at one time or another recognized the police in our districts. Our community policing is so strong. My neighbors know all of the community police officers in our district, and that's so important, because the first time you have an interaction with a police officer shouldn't be when someone is in distress or someone is about to get arrested, and I believe our police force is sensitive to that, and I really appreciate that. And under the leadership of our chief, Manny Morales, he is committed to that. The CPR Foundation's mission is to build bridges of trust, understanding, and mutual respect between law enforcement and the community. By funding and supporting various outreach initiatives and programs, including feeding families in need, empowering youth through police-led sports and mentorship, protecting the mental health of law enforcement, raising awareness about human trafficking, and more, the CPRF Foundation facilitates positive interactions and meaningful dialogue between law enforcement and the community. Through these comprehensive efforts, the various police agencies and communities, including the City of Miami Police Department, Miami PAL, and other local community organizations, the CPR Foundation continues to advance its transformative work to positively reshape perceptions of how law enforcement and the community view each other, creating safer and more unified communities. And that is what our police department, our police officers should be all about, this exact mission that they are doing. And I want to thank you for that, because, you know, when something is happening, if somebody's pulling at your back door, we're calling the police. And our officers, through the last 4 years, I have seen and heard some awful things, but I've also seen and heard some wonderful, wonderful stories of heroism in our community. And I want to thank you guys for continuing this work to make the relationship between the community and the police a good one, where we foster trust. And it's an ongoing job. It's not something that you do and you stop. It's continuous, and your service is often thankless, but we thank you today.
Well, what can I say after she said it all? Thank you very, very much for the courtesy of that. And Chief Morales, nothing is possible without you allowing us to do what we do in the streets. So we believe in working with the patrol officers, the people who are out there each and every day, to bring communities closer with law enforcement, identify one another. And, you know, it's as our chairman says, it's the humanity business. That's what we're in. But I will say this. Every day we're blessed, but we are in New York, Chicago, L.A., South Florida, and other points. It's a God blessing to be here. Your police force here is second to none in the nation. I travel the nation. So thank you very much for that. And I just want to say we're a public firm. No, we don't get government support. We only get support of society. So look up www.cprfcharity.org, and I thank you very much. If you would give that to your city commission.
Oh, thank you. Wait for I have one, so I'm going to give it to you. Okay. Come on, let's take a picture under the shield.
Good morning, everybody. Today I'd like to recognize somebody who is not only one of Flagami's finest, but also one of the city of Miami's finest, Detective Elias Santos. If Detective Santos would come on up. So your peers in the police department wanted to make sure that you are recognized today, Detective, because you have worked on some really complex cases in the last few years that helped us to get to a very positive solution in what was otherwise a very challenging situation. Do we have the detective? He's on his way up. Excellent. Exactly. Okay, so in 2023, we had a series of arsons, and this was running rampant, and it was a crime ring that was very elaborate, and there was even an attempted murder, and he was able to solve this very, very complex case. More recently, there was a rash of burglaries starting in Flagami and going all over the place with international ties, and because of the amazing work that he was able to do, they were able to capture all the perpetrators. And so I want to thank you and recognize you for your exceptional investigative abilities and skills, your work for the last several years, and to say that Miami is one of the safest big cities in the country and is now at historic lows with regard to the crime rate. And it is because of the work of Detective Santos and his colleagues that we are as safe as we can possibly get. So thank you, Detective, and congratulations. And the second person I'd like to commend today is Ricky Patel. So I'm going to read you some numbers. I'm not one to read a lot of comments, but these numbers are pretty astounding, and so I think they're worth me noting. 12 years ago, Ricky formed the It's for the Kids Foundation, which I love particularly because he uses the number 4, District 4, so very happy about that. But he's had tremendous reach not only in Miami-Dade County, but internationally. Here are some Miami-Dade numbers in terms of the good work that's been done by the It's for the Kids Foundation. He creates something called Bags of Hope. So he gives out duffel bags full of essential supplies for kids that are needy and are struggling in very challenging situations. To date, he's given out over 34,000 duffel bags. He's done something called Christmas of Hope. He has given out over 2,600 toys at Christmas time for kids that otherwise might not be able to celebrate a Christmas. He's got a long-standing partnership with Overtown's, Ricky, please come on up here. A long-standing partnership with Overtown's Care Elementary, where they provide all sorts of supplies to the school. He has the Police of Hope initiative. So he's given out more than 3,000 care items that he gives to police officers throughout our community, and they give those to kids when they are in domestic violence situations and other really trying times. So this is a way for our police officers to be able to help kids in those very, very scary circumstances. But he didn't stop there. He did amazing work at the county level, but he took it to the next step, and he went international. He has given out over 890,000 meals globally. 890,000 meals. He has delivered over 107,000 pounds of emergency relief supplies throughout the country in emergency situations. He has helps on a monthly basis over 3,000 children all over the world. This is mind-blowing. Thank you, Ricky, for what you've done for the last 12 years, and you're a Miamian. So you make us incredibly proud every single day, and it is my great pleasure to recognize you today. Thank you, Ricky. I know the mayor will be meeting with you and giving you some additional goodies a little bit later, but on behalf of the commission, I wanted to make sure that we recognize you here as well.
Thank you. So thank you to the commission, especially thank you to our It's for the Kids team for working endlessly on this. When we started in Miami, our main objective was to make sure that children that are in distress are not forgotten. This was one of our biggest things. We wanted to find out ways that we could help them out in all arenas. From Miami, the amount of support and love we received has been endless. So thank you. Thank you to our It's for the Kids team. And this proclamation also will dedicate it to all the children that we serve, because those children today, they're still fighting these battles. So thank you again.
We are recognizing now our police bicycle patrol. If they can come forward, our police bicycle patrol, they hear me. That would be you guys. Come on. So this is another initiative that the city of Miami has. We don't all have our officers in patrol cars. Come on up. Come on up. We have a robust police bicycle patrol, which also keeps our officers in good shape. Okay, but you're not, how do you know they have the right name? Here you go. Oh, I got you.
So, good morning, everyone. Manny Morales, your Chief of Police. And listen, it is an incredibly proud moment anytime that we're able to have our team members. Guys, come on, squeeze in so you can get a little piece of stage, because you all deserve the great recognition. Most of the work, as the chairwoman always is clear to point out, that police officers do, it's not putting people in jail. It's not getting in car chases. We do that sometimes, but the bulk of our days is doing community service. And this is what this group did. They partnered up together with Blood United, right? And they took a ride all the way to Orlando to do a fundraiser. That's what these guys do. They look out for the community. They do for the betterment. And I think that it is fitting. Joe, you want to say a few words? So Officer Joe McCrink, he's about to retire. I think he's got like 10 months left. And still, 4 months? 4 months left and still comes in every day, puts forward 100%, making sure that the citizens of Miami are well protected. And he is the brainchild that put this together. I know it's something very personal to you. Can you just tell us a little bit of why it is that we're doing this and why it's important?
Thank you, everybody. Good morning. So basically in 2024, in November, my wife was diagnosed with leukemia, blood cancer, and we went through the whole process. During this whole process of her recovery and her treatment, the city of Miami, my coworkers, the staff, everybody was very supportive. And for the last 7 years, I've always done some type of charity ride, whether it was we did one for Officer Johnson when he passed away, Live Like Bella, and we did some for injured veterans. So for this year, it was a no-brainer to do something with an organization called Blood Cancer United, which does a lot of support and helps people get through this hard time. When I brought it up to my lieutenant and my chain of command, they were all in. And like the chief said, we rode our bike to Orlando. We raised $38,000 that went to Blood Cancer United. So and it was just extra special. Like the chief said, I retire March 31st of this year, and getting this all done, it's just the city of Miami. Both my sons work for the city of Miami. They're police officers. It was just, this is truly my police family, and the love that you have shown myself and my wife will never, ever be forgotten. And just thank you very much.
Again, this is work that our police force does, that we should promote this more, because they are really doing an amazing job. And I'm going to take a liberty here and say that I believe that Commissioner Pardo and I would love to ride with the police in our districts, our respected, now that he can. I love riding bike. I stopped riding bike, but I'll ride with you guys. After I fell off my bike during COVID and broke my hand, I was like, these streets not really for bicycles, but I would love to ride with you guys and patrol my district with you on the bicycle, because I can't believe that I've not gone on a ride along yet. Someone had said that to me, and I was like, no, I haven't, not yet. So that's a priority for me, to do a ride along, and I think the first ride along should be on the bike. So, Commissioner Pardo, because he's an avid bike rider. He's an avid bike rider.
Just letting you know.
He rides all the time.
I do. And he sees the motorcycle that I'm like,
them about the motorcycles and the e-bikes. Good morning, everyone. A lot of folks don't know, but we have a very active Marine Patrol. Most people don't even kind of recognize their work. But if you live in the Venetian Islands, if you live downtown, if you live in Edgewater, you realize that noise is amplified by water and it travels up. And folks sometimes at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4, these party boats and all these other things amplify that noise right up. These folks are out there all the time. Weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We know in our office because we get the copies of those emails. And sometimes we see them at 2 in the morning. Hey, we just stopped this boat. We just did this. They are so vital to the quality of life and the character of our neighborhoods. So we probably should have recognized them a long time ago. I do want to read the proclamation. The Marine Patrol Unit of the City of Miami Police Department plays a vital role in protecting and preserving some of Miami's most precious, environmentally sensitive, and economically significant waterways, including the Miami River, Biscayne Bay, and surrounding coastal areas. The Marine Patrol Unit suppresses criminal activity by conducting vessel inspections, intercepting drug smugglers, human traffickers, enforcing federal, state, and local laws, while its derelict vessel removal efforts improve water safety and protect the marine environment. The Marine Patrol Unit has performed life-saving actions during critical incidents, including rescues and medical emergency responses, reflecting the professionalism, training, and bravery of its officers. The Miami Marine Patrol collaborates closely with the U.S. Coast Guard, Florida Fish and Wildlife, Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, and other agencies. They play a vital role in protecting Miami's marine wildlife by enforcing manatee zones and working to preserve fragile marine ecosystems. Since July 2025, the Marine Patrol Unit has demonstrated a sustained and proactive presence on the water, with approximately 97 arrests, 73 civil citations, 1,677 boating infractions, 176 vessel inspections for more than 7,000 documented interactions just this year, underscoring the unit's effectiveness, dedication, and commitment to safeguarding Miami's waterways. By maintaining strong community presence, supporting commercial maritime activity, and enforcing waterway regulation, the Marine Patrol Unit strengthens public trust, enhances both safety of both residents and visitors, and upholds Miami's reputation as a safe and thriving coastal city. On behalf of the mayor, on behalf of all of the commission, Commissioner Commissioner Rosado, Commissioner Cabela, I know, Commissioner Pardo, Commissioner King, and the mayor, and the residents especially, and all of us. We want to thank the Marine Patrol. I'm going to list off their names. Lieutenant Corey Cotto, who is, I see those emails all the time flying through. Sergeant Jason Kostovic, Sergeant Javier Cartagena, Officer Arturo de Castillo, Officer Charles Ogden, Officer Carol Soto Aguiar, Officer Richard Rios, Officer Ramses, did I say it right? Okay, Ramses Rengifo, right? Okay, sorry. Officer Hector Cabrera Jr., Officer Rene Lara, Officer Christopher Cruz, Officer Orlando Cardell, Officer Bernardo Grissi, Officer Miguel Garcia, Officer Andy Delgado, Officer Stefan Rivero, Officer Guillermo Sanchez, Officer Alejandro Antelo, and Officer Bruno Leo. Thank you all very much for all the work you do for all of us. Thank you.
I have actually gone on a ride-along with Marine Patrol. It's the only ride-along that I went on. And I want to tell you, like, my personal story with Marine Patrol. We have a lot of derelict vessels. They get them, when I report it, they go, they get them out of the water. But also one day, I was hanging out on my balcony, and the weather turned in an instant, and there was a tour going out to one of the little islands, and they got in trouble. I called the chief, frantic. One person was just floating on like a surfboard or something. I don't know, shoe fell off. She's hanging on to a cooler and just adrift. It's lightning, it's raining. I'm calling the chief. and they end up saving, you guys saved like 9 folks, right? Remember that? You remember that? They end up saving like 9 folks. They came instantly, and I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out because I'm watching this in real time, and there's nothing else I can do except call, and they were right on it. And I want to thank you guys for that. And you guys do amazing, amazing work, because saving those folks, and there was some kids also. There were some kids also, and just watching that aged me like 5 years, just watching that, because, you know, if any one of them had gone under and there was nothing that I could do, but they got there, they got them in time, and there was no tragedy, just good news, just good news. So thank you guys for what you do.
They were also instrumental in the derelict vessel legislation that passed, so that's also very important. They were critical.
Shameless plug, today is Miami Give Day. In case you forgot, there are a bunch of deserving organizations that you can give to for Miami Give Day, so don't forget, Miami Give Day. That's it. And at this time, we are going to... We are going to have Reverend Brown of the National Church of God start our meeting with prayer. Reverend?
Good morning. Thank you. Good morning. Let us look to the hills from which cometh our help, realizing that our help cometh from the Lord. Father, we humbly bow to your authority this morning, and we recognize you as the Almighty. And Lord, we ask you as we gather together this morning, God, to impart in us the wisdom and the knowledge to apply those things that will be helpful to your people. Keep our hearts, O God, and guide us in a way, O Lord, that others will see the glory that you have allowed to proceed. Thank you for this panel that is set before these be your people, Lord, in the name of Jesus. For they come today, O God, to acknowledge the work that is before them. So give them the strength and the wisdom and the knowledge, God, to apply it justly, to look over those that under them in the name of Jesus. We give you the glory, Lord, because we know which our help cometh from. Bless now, God, everyone that is gathered with desires and concerns in their hearts to make this city great. Keep us moving in a direction, Lord, that you will be glorified. We give you praise. We acknowledge you. We glorify your name. We lift you. Thank you so much, Father, for looking over us. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Commissioner Bell.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, our city clerk, at this time, our city attorney will read the statement.
Thank you, Madam Chair. George Wysong, City Attorney, City of Miami. Detailed information about the processes, order of business, rules of procedure, and scheduling or rescheduling of City Commission meetings can be found in Chapter 2, Article 2 of the City Code, a copy of which is available online at www.municode.com. Any person who is a lobbyist pursuant to Chapter 2, Article 6 of the City Code must register with the City Clerk and comply with related city requirements for lobbyists before appearing before the City Commission. A person may not lobby a city official, board member, or staff member until registering. A copy of the code section about lobbyists is available in the City Clerk's office or online at www.municode.com. Any person making a presentation, formal request, or petition to the City Commission concerning real property must make the disclosures required by the City Code in writing. A copy of this City Code section is available at the office of the City Clerk or online at www.municode.com. The City of Miami requires that anyone requesting action by the City Commission must disclose before the hearing any consideration provided or committed to anyone for agreement to support or withhold objection to the requested action pursuant to City Code Section 2-8. Any documents offered to the City Commission that have not been provided 7 days before this meeting as part of the agenda materials will be entered into the record at the City Commission's discretion. In accordance with Section 2-33F and G of the City Code, the agenda and the materials for each item on the agenda is available during business hours at the City Clerk's office and online 24 hours a day at www.miamigov.com. The meeting of the Miami City Commission is a limited public forum. Any person may be heard by the City Commission through the chair for not more than 2 minutes on any proposition before the City Commission unless modified by the chair. Public comment will begin at approximately 10:15 a.m. and remain open until public comment is closed by the chairperson. Any person making offensive remarks or who becomes unruly in the City Commission chambers will be barred from further attending City Commission meetings and may be subject to arrest. No clapping, applauding, heckling, or verbal outbursts in support or opposition to a speaker or his or her remarks shall be permitted. No signs or placards shall be allowed in the City Commission chambers. Persons exiting the City Commission chambers shall do so quietly. Members of the public wishing to address the body may do so by submitting written comments via the online comment form. Please visit www.miamigov.com/meeting instructions for detailed instructions on how to provide public comment using the online public comment form. The comments submitted through the comment form have been and will be distributed to the elected officials, their staff, and city administration throughout the day so that the elected officials may consider the comments prior to taking any action. Additionally, the online comment form will remain open during the meeting to accept comments and distribute to the elected officials, their staff, and the city administration up until the chairperson closes public comment. Public comment may also be provided here live at City Hall at 3500 Pan American Drive, Miami, Florida, subject to any and all city rules as they may be amended. If the proposition is being continued or rescheduled, the opportunity to be heard may be at such later date before the City Commission takes action on such proposition. When addressing the City Commission, the member of the public must first state their name, their address, and what item will be spoken about. Any person with a disability requiring assistance, auxiliary aids, and services for this meeting may notify the City Clerk. The City has provided different public comment methods to indicate, among other things, the public support, opposition, or neutrality on the items and topics to be discussed at the City Commission meeting in compliance with Section 286.0114(4C) Florida statutes. The public has been given the opportunity to provide public comment during the meeting within reasonable proximity and time before the meeting. Please note, commissioners have generally been briefed by city staff and the City Attorney's Office on items on the agenda today. Anyone wishing a verbatim record of any item considered at this meeting may request it at the Office of Communications or view it online at www.miamigov.com. For planning and zoning items, PZ items shall proceed according to Section 7.1.4 of the Miami 21 zoning ordinance. Parties for any PZ items, including any applicant, appellant, appellee, city staff, and any person recognized by the decision-making body as a qualified intervener, as well as the applicant's representatives and any experts testifying on behalf of the applicant, appellant, appellee, may be physically present at City Hall to be sworn in by oath or affirmation by the City Clerk. The members of the City Commission shall disclose any ex parte communications to remove the presumption of prejudice pursuant to Florida Statute Section 286.0115 and Section 7.1.4.5 of the Miami 21 zoning ordinance. The order of presentation shall be as set forth in Miami 21 and in the City Code. Staff will briefly present each item to be heard. The applicant will present its application or request to the City Commission. If the applicant agrees with the staff recommendation, the City Commission may proceed to its deliberation and decision. The applicant may also waive the right to any evidentiary hearings on the record. For appeals, the appellant will present its appeal to the City Commission followed by the appellee. Staff will be allowed to make any recommendations they may have. Please silence all cell phones and other noise-making devices. This meeting can be viewed live on Miami TV, the city's Facebook page, the city's Twitter page, the city's YouTube channel, and Comcast Channel 77. The broadcast will also have closed captioning. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. Mr. City Clerk, would you please read your statement?
Thank you, Chair. The procedures for individuals who will be providing testimony is sworn in for planning and zoning items and any quasi-judicial items on today's City Commission agenda will be as follows. The members of city staff or any other individuals required to be sworn in who are currently present at City Hall will be sworn in by me, the City Clerk, immediately after I finish explaining these procedures. Those individuals who are appearing remotely may be sworn in now or at any time prior to the individual providing testimony for planning and zoning items and or quasi-judicial items. Commissioners, are you comfortable with all the notice provisions set forth in these uniform rules of procedures we have established for this meeting?
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. May I administer the oath for the planning and zoning items?
Please.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you'll be speaking on any of today's planning and zoning items, those are the PZ items. May I please have you stand and raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give at today's hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And your response is? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. City Clerk. Mr. City Manager, do you have any items that will be withdrawn or deferred from this agenda?
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners, Mr. City Attorney, Mr. City Clerk. At this time, the administration would like to defer and to withdraw the following items. CA7 to be deferred to the December 11th meeting. PH8 to be deferred to the December 11th meeting. RE27 to be withdrawn. RE28 to be withdrawn. FR1 to be indefinitely deferred. DI1 to be deferred to the December 11th meeting. PZ1 to be deferred to the January 8th, 2026 meeting. PZ2 to be deferred to the January 8th, 2026 meeting. PZ3 to be indefinitely deferred. PZ4 to be withdrawn. And PZ17 to be deferred to December 11th. That concludes the items. 19.
Sorry, I missed one before the D1. Which one's the one before the DI one?
FR7.
FR7?
Mm-hmm. Mr. Manager.
No, FR1.
No, he said before the DI1.
So you said DI1, and then before that, which is the one I missed?
FR7.
FR7.
No, not FR7. It was RE27 and 28, both to be withdrawn. RE27.
What did you say about FR? Oh, I'm sorry.
FR1 was the one that was
I'm
indefinite.
sorry.
So you said RE27 and RE28, correct?
To be withdrawn.
Right, and then can you keep going until you get to the D1 thing, DI1?
You want me to just read through them?
No. Just after the
Okay,
RE28.
after RE27 and 28, it's FR1 to be indefinitely deferred, DI1 to be deferred
Got
to
it. Okay, I'm
December
good.
11th.
I'm good.
Okay, Mr. Manager, the rules for discussion items, if it's not heard on the agenda that it's printed, it will be withdrawn. We're
Which
not
fine.
rolling them over.
I can add
You
it
got to
as
look at the memo.
I can add as a discussion item to the next meeting. That's fine. I'll just add it as a
Yes,
discussion item for the
because
next
it
meeting.
comes off
Yeah.
of this. Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be withdrawn then.
Okay. Gentlemen, do you have any items that you would like to defer or withdraw on this agenda?
I just have a request to have PH 13 heard after the break.
Okay.
Thank you.
PH 13? Okay.
Commissioner Gabello, do you have any items that you would like to defer?
Yeah,
or-
so on the, you just made light of the discussion items. So DI2, you can defer that. DI3, the same thing. And then D4 and D5, that's new.
Okay. Okay, and remember, guys, we are limited to 2 discussion items per meeting.
Yeah,
And
it
then
said those kept rolling over.
right, but they're coming off now.
Right.
So we're not rolling anything over.
Yeah, no problem.
Commissioner Rosado, any items that you would like to defer? Okay. Mr. City Clerk?
Thank you, Chair. I just have a few administrative items to read into the record. For sponsor and co-sponsor requests, Chair King will be sponsoring PH1. Commissioner Pardo will be sponsoring PZ15 and co-sponsoring RE19, FR6, and PZ18. Commissioner Rosado will be co-sponsoring RE11. And Chair, may I at least make a brief reference to the pocket items that are going to be introduced today?
Please, I would actually like our city attorney to read the titles of the pocket items for the record. Are you going to do that?
Sorry, RE11?
Commissioner Rosado will be co-sponsoring RE11.
Because that's my item.
Yes.
I just wanted,
Yes, he's simply co-sponsoring RE11.
got it.
I may just make a brief reference to the pocket items so we can identify them as PI 1, 2, and 3, and then the city attorney can read the titles into the record. Okay. So the mayor has a pocket resolution to appoint Andres Rivero to the mayor's vacant seat on the Virginia Key Advisory Board. That'll be PI 1. Commissioner Pardo has a pocket resolution to appoint Commissioner Rosado to the Florida League of Cities. That'll be pocket item 2. Commissioner King has a pocket resolution associated with a waiver for Robert Holland. That'll be pocket item 3. Chair King has a resolution authorizing interlocal agreement between the Midtown CRA and the City of Miami to allow for administrative support services to the Midtown CRA on a temporary basis. That'll be PI 4. And Chair King has a first reading ordinance exempt Miami-Dade County owned property, unplatted land. That'll be PI 5. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, would you please read the titles of those?
Yes, Madam Chair. I'll skip PI 1 because it's just an appointment. PI 2 is a resolution of the Miami City Commission appointing Commissioner Rafael Rosado as a member of the Florida League of Cities. PI 3, a resolution of the Miami City Commission by 4/5 affirmative vote after public hearing pursuant to Section 2-614 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, making findings and waiving the conflict of interest provisions contained in Section 2-612 of the City Code to enable the city manager to enter into an expert consulting agreement with Robert W. Holland through his firm, the law offices of Robert W. Holland, LLC, to transact business with and for the City of Miami and providing for an effective date. PI 4, a resolution of the Miami City Commission authorizing an interlocal agreement in a form acceptable to the city attorney between the Midtown Community Redevelopment Agency, Midtown CRA, and the City of Miami City to allow for the city manager or designee to provide administrative support services to the Midtown CRA on a temporary basis until an executive director of the Midtown CRA is appointed, authorizing the city manager or designee to negotiate and execute the interlocal agreement in a form acceptable to the city attorney and to do all things necessary to effectuate the resolution, providing for the incorporation of recitals and an effective date. And finally, PI 5, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 55, Section 5510 of the Code of the City of Miami as amended, entitled Subdivision Regulations, Building Permits, Issuance, Restrictions, Exceptions, to exempt Miami-Dade County-owned property in unplatted land which is exempt from county platting requirements, containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And at this time, Mr. City Clerk.
May you request a motion for the order of the day?
Yes. At this time, I will request a motion.
So moved.
A second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to set the agenda for the day. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. And at this time, I will open the floor for public comments. Those who would like to speak on any item that is before us, please step forward. Going to go with ladies first.
Ladies
today.
first.
Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to see everybody again. My name is...
Remember, 5 at a time so we don't block the doors. Just 5 at a time. Standing. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Maggie Ramos. I'm a realtor and sustainability and resiliency advocate. I know what that sounds like. It's a little crazy. But I'm here because I'm very concerned with FR4 and PZ12. I'm protecting our property values. I'm trying to protect our economy and the future of our city. I don't believe that this is the way to go. I am pro-smart growth. I don't want to go on record as anti-growth. I am pro-growth, but it needs to be smart, sustainable growth, and this is not the way. I did watch the RFT presentation video, spoke with people in the Resiliency Committee, and I've read the email sent by Commissioner Pardo's office. Thank you. This ordinance creates a new resilience trust fund with no independent auditor, no public dashboard, with no guarantee of the money won't be diverted, just like what's happened in the past. We have a history that's not very good. Residents have asked for independent audits for years. Every attempt has been avoided. Second, this tool is being marked as Edgewater only, but the language created creates a precedent that can be applied to anything. It could be applied to T4, T5, T6, area citywide. Once it's in Chapter 62, it becomes expandable, and this is dangerous. Third, doubling density does not increase resilience. It doesn't reduce flooding, lower insurance, or solve our affordability issues. This just simply isn't the way to go. Miami's housing crisis is driven by wages speculation, insurance, and loss of older units. We need independent oversight, real infrastructure. We need resilience before density. This is the only way forward. Thank you.
Nope. It's like this. You don't want to. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Rick Madonna. I'm the president of the Biscayne Neighborhoods Association, and I reside at 2900 Northeast 7th Avenue. I'm here to speak in strong support of FR4 and PZ12. We recognize there's been understandable confusion and concern citywide. Let me be clear, this legislation does not double density in Miami. The ability to achieve this density is already established in the city's comprehensive plan adopted in 2017. What this legislation does is offer a new strategic pathway, a tool supported by PZAB and the Climate Resilience Committee to access that existing density only in exchange for a direct local public benefit. For too long, Edgewater has been a donor town. Our residents and developers pay significant taxes and impact fees, yet those funds are dispersed across the entire city. We see very little return to fix our critical local infrastructure. We see 40 and 50-story buildings continue to go up in Edgewater, often without proper consideration for massive strain they place on our already struggling infrastructure. Simultaneously, noise waivers are given out like candy, destroying the quality of life for longtime residents. We are struggling with rampant flooding, cracked sidewalks, serious traffic issues, and lack of green space. We need funds to connect our Baywalk. It's vital for resilience and quality of life. FR4 and PZ12 are a culmination of months of work with property owners. They create the Edgewater Resilient Trust Fund to ensure that money generated by development in Edgewater stays in Edgewater to fix these problems. We're asking for the ability to responsibly invest in our own neighborhood's resilience. I care deeply about all of Miami, and I understand the fear that this will spread indiscriminately. However, as proposed legislation, the city staff have confirmed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please vote yes. Thank you.
Chairwoman, before you start my clock, I have to say something, because it's hurting my bottom line right now. Starting a meeting an hour after it's scheduled is a common practice in the city of Miami, and you're taxing the residents. Okay? It's so responsible. And I don't want to get a name.
Sir, should I stop recognizing people? Should we cut out the proclamations?
I'm just saying,
Should we cut out the proclamations? That's part of.
Well, I'm going to spend my 2 minutes that I have written up speaking about this.
Sir.
Okay.
Do it at lunch.
I'm not contentious about this. This is contentious, starting at this time. I'm just letting you know.
I'm not clear what you would like. Should I not recognize our police and all of the folks that we recognize?
That started at 10 o'clock. That started at 10 o'clock, ma'am.
Okay.
Chairwoman, I respect you, and I respect your work. This is something that we need to address.
I appreciate what you're saying, and we'll take it under advisement.
Please, thank you so much.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Thank you for your advocacy.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate you. I came here today to address 4 items on the agenda: PZ 16, PH 13, FR 4, and PZ 12. With deep concern for the public trust and the long-term fiscal health of our city. First, RE 16, when we approve more spending, more obligation, more liabilities at a time when budgets are already strained, we must ask who's watching the books, who's auditing decisions independently. Our city budgets are ballooning, our liabilities are mounting, especially through lawsuits and obligations that should have been anticipated, and yet we continue to move forward through a fiscal roof that won't cave in. Approving RE 16 without demanding independent auditors, full transparency is like writing a blank check. We need to address this. This leads us to PH 13. Here lies a massive land giveaway, a high-value property transferred without ensuring the city or its residents benefit of full market value. By undervaluing the public asset, we fail the people of Miami. We fail the budget. We undermine our ability to remain fiscally resilient. If we're facing shortfalls, how can we justify handing over a public treasure at a steep discount? Let us instead demand a fair market value, let the city and its people see the proceeds, and let the asset serve as the public, not just private interest. And now FR4 and PZ12. Ironically, we are approving further development, further density, further pressure on the city services, county services, on our roads, on our neighborhood livability, while at the same time claiming we build resilience, especially in neighborhoods like Edgewater, already vulnerable to flooding, sea level rise, and sunny day inundations. We talk about resilient trust funds, but we do not increase the impact fees. This is backwards. You don't add more liability and problems zoned with greater risk and fewer safeguards. You don't layer more development, more traffic, more infrastructure burdens without corresponding community-based oversight, impact fees that reflect the true cost of comprehensive planning. What we have instead is patchwork, shotgun changes to codes like Miami 21 that were developed through community-driven processes. We are watching. Please start involving us in these life-changing decisions.
Thank you.
And Chair, I have the speaker's name, sir. If I could have you speak the name for your the name.
Albert Gomez, District 2. And by the way, Marine Patrol rocks.
It does. Good morning.
Good morning. Elvis Cruz, 631 Northeast 57th Street on items FR4, PZ 6, 7, and 12. Resilience, affordable housing, workforce housing, transit-oriented development, transit station neighborhood development, and public benefits are all political camouflage to allow developers to build bigger and denser with less parking under the cover story that it's to help the public, but it's really to please developers and their insatiable profit motivations because, after all, they're the ones who give campaign contributions. The city's unspoken goal is infinite growth, regardless of how it affects our quality of life, be it traffic congestion, harming neighborhood character and scale, sewage treatment, garbage disposal and parking capacity, hurricane evacuation time, potable water supply, acres of parkland per 1,000 residents, and so on. Miami is already zoned to allow 8 times more housing units than were counted in the 2010 census, according to the city's own maximum density potential analysis. But the planning department now says its own study is unsophisticated, apparently because it goes against the city's unspoken goal of infinite growth. How much is enough? How much is too much? Even if the city's housing units were to be only doubled, the strain on our infrastructure and harm to our quality of life would be horrible. Please vote no on double density. Watson Island was given to Miami to be used in perpetuity as a public park, and now you want to sell it off for a price far below fair market value. Come to your senses. Do the right thing. Save Watson Island from greedy developers who want to build 48-story high-rise condos on land that was meant to be a beautiful waterfront park for the public to enjoy. The political legacy you save might just be your own. Don't you want the voters to like you?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. You know, after all this time, I should know better than to follow Elvis Cruz. I'm speaking on PZ12 in general. When I first joined 8 years ago, I served 8 years on the Planning and Zoning Board. And I remember one of my first meetings, the charter school came before us, and somebody on my board immediately said, move to approve. And I looked at them and said, what do you? And they all laughed and said, it's for the children. And then, of course, we debated the parking and all the other issues that come with any location of anything like that. Well, to follow up with what Elva just said, there are now magic words, the main one being affordable housing, which is abused over and over, should be stricken from the English language. Doesn't mean anything. Same with maybe this resiliency. We are a city of neighborhoods, and you guys all represent neighborhoods. So our zoning code, Miami 21, actually has provisions for growth, controlled growth throughout. What I'd really like to say to you is you represent the premier city in the state of Florida. To say, oh, the county has its own plans for our neighborhoods. The state has live local. We can't do anything. That is BS. I'm sorry. You represent the greatest city in the state of Florida. Even the little tiny city of South Miami challenged the state not so long ago, and they didn't win, but they slowed everything down and got the state to consider what they were saying. You could do the same on every growth issue. You could say, slow down. We don't have to kowtow to the county. We don't have to kowtow to the state. We can at least slow them down by legal challenges, which I'm sure George over there is saying, oh my God, don't dump that on me. But you do have the power to say we are the premier city in the state and we are not going to be bulldozed by either the county or the state without challenging you. Thank you very much. That's my message to you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Elisa Margulies. I live at 3333 Rice Street in Center Grove. And there's a saying I'm sure all of you have heard. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. When I hear that proposals for double density only applies to Edgewater and not the Grove, you can imagine my skepticism. I live in Center Grove, which is within the NCD. However, I find myself surrounded by exemptions and waivers at every turn for reasons that are less than genuine. The Well, the Lincoln, and even an office building on Oak Street are all examples of buildings that are out of scale with the rest of the conservation district. These are luxury properties. They don't serve any noble purpose. So now we live with the consequences, higher density and even more traffic with no measurable benefit to our community. Grove residents did not ask for this. It was foisted upon us. In the city of Miami, the goalposts are always moving, and yet they only move in one direction, in favor of developers. Why not ever in favor of the people who live here? If this ordinance only affects Edgewater, then why not exclude the Grove? The planning department's response on the D2 Zoom, which Commissioner Pardo hosted on Tuesday, was clear that while the current proposal is for Edgewater, the city needs to leave the door open for other areas in the future. I am imploring you, please, to add guardrails against overdevelopment and not aid and abet it. Quality of life should be your number one priority, not bowing to developers. Manila, Mumbai, Miami, your legacy is at stake. These buildings won't always be shiny and new, and you don't want to be responsible or remembered for cramming too many people into too little space, something that can never be undone. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairwoman. Good morning, Commissioners and staff. My name is Chaplain Stanley Young, 500 Northwest 2nd Avenue. I speak on PH1 and PH4. PH1, we desperately need I'm not asking for myself. I'm doing good. I'm asking for those who didn't make it here, who I see and meet each and every day, who just got priced out of their home or apartment that they're living in, who's on disability. Some of our most growing population that are on the streets are men and women who got priced out of their apartment, who are our elderly, who are disabled. Some of our most crucial people are now showing up in shelters who needing a safe place to lay their head. A home, a bed is not a luxury item. It is a needed item that we all need to have. And Miami seems to be the Mecca when it comes to homelessness. We here in this sacred halls have an opportunity to make a bigger difference in the housing and the homelessness that is going on here in Miami-Dade County. It is something that most of your shelters are located here. Most of your homelessness are just located here in the city of Miami. So that gives you a great responsibility to answer the call that is being given to you. I think you can't do it all by yourself, and we do not expect for you to do it all by yourself. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Brenda Betancourt, 1436 West 6th Street. Just have questions on PH 8. Why are we doing 99 years, giving the land of the resident of the city of Miami to developers for 99 years to do affordable housing, supposedly? Remember, workforce, which is 120% AMI on rental, is not workforce. It's not affordable housing. It's not Section 8. It's not low-income rentals. It's regular rental of 40%, and the other 60% the developer is going to do regular rental under the city land. So PHA, we really would like to understand if affordable housing is going to be 100% Section 8 for seniors or people with disability, or is going to be just for the developer to get 40% workforce and 60% regular rental like they're doing in Robin King High, and the land that it was supposedly just for seniors to receive housing. Supporting is RE7. Ralph, thank you so much, Commissioner Rosado, because Flagler and 49th Street going to be revamped. You are showing that if you're a commissioner, you want to do the job, you will work with the state and the county to fix your road. So thank you very much. RE8, the Horacio Aguirre appointment for the Bayfront Park Trust, I think is very important, because that will give a little different view of the trust that has been having so many questions. So Ignis is honorable man. RE9, Antonio Diaz, which is Independent Inspector General, the Commissioner Manolo Reyes, he's worked so hard. Why is so hard for commissioners to understand that we need the audits for independent inspector? It is what we've been asking. So we hope that you guys make a decision hopefully soon. In RE16, go back again to what the prior speaker. Why are we changing now money from one side to another without audit? Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to remind everyone, please don't call any of us out by name, even for the good and the bad, irrespective. Keep it neutral. Thank you. Good morning.
Morning. Hank Sanchez Resnick, 3259 Gifford Lane. I'm the founder of Bike Coconut Grove. I'm on the board of Friends of the Commodore Trail, and I'm a member of the Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory Committee of the county. I'm here about the bicycle master plan. I want to support it, RE6. And a little background. In 2008, I've been a bicycle advocate most of my life, adult life. I set up a meeting with Mayor Diaz. There was no bicycle plan for the city of Miami in 2008, which is disgraceful. Mayor Diaz was very responsive, and he had all the senior staff in the meeting, and we created the first bicycle plan for the city of Miami, which was adopted by the commission in 2009. 16 years later, we have a revision. That is way too long to be waiting for a revision, and it doesn't reflect well on the city's commitment to supporting bicycling and bicyclists. 3 years ago, the new revised plan, which is before you today, came before the BPAC. It has some really great things in it. It's very comprehensive. It's huge. And my comment then was, this thing has everything, including the kitchen sink, and if I'm a commissioner, how am I going to have any idea of what the policies should be? Where would we go with this? How would we implement it? So yesterday, I sent out an alert asking bicyclists and members of the community to request that you defer the item. During the day, I talked with the executive director of Transit Alliance, a wonderful, respected group in this town, who's standing behind me, And they are really advocating for the plan, and I support the plan too, with an amendment that I think you'll be hearing about. So please adopt the plan and adopt the amendment.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for your time. My name is Brooke White, 3196 Gifford Lane, and I'm speaking in behalf of the Coconut Grove Elementary Parent-Teacher Association on PZ 19. Dear Commissioner, thank you for your continued support of the Coconut Grove Elementary. The school's Parent-Teacher Association represents 500 more students, families, and 70 plus teachers and staff. On behalf of the Coconut Grove Elementary PTA, we look forward to a productive working relationship with Alan Morris Company regarding Kirk Monroe Park improvements, item PZ19. Kirk Monroe Park is an anchor of the Coconut Grove Elementary community, with families actively using it before and after school for many after-school activities, including tennis, celebrations, and many more. The PTA is excited about potential improvements to Kirk Monroe Park and the collaboration between the City of Miami and Alan Morris Company, effectuating park improvements in a way that beautifies while maintaining current functions. The PTA is focused on the following elements: maintaining existing tennis courts and rebuilding hitting walls, creating a playground that is more inviting and accessible for school children, maintaining existing secure access on Matilda Street, ensuring minimal disruption during construction process, specifically park closure, only once the park improvements are approved and ready to start construction, improvements completed within 1 school year. Confirming park improvements can be accomplished regardless of timeline for Fuller Street. We appreciate the ability to participate in the process. Thank you for your wonderful leadership.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, commissioners. Good morning, chairwoman. My name is Katy Dos Santos. I am the executive director at Transit Alliance Miami. Address is 2150 Coral Way, Suite 7B, Miami, Florida, 33145. And I am a transit advocate. I am also a cyclist and a bike advocate. We are here today, quite a few of us of different ages, different parts of Miami. We all bike, if not live and work in the city of Miami. And we want to say thank you for putting forward the plan to hopefully be adopted. That's what we're here to advocate for today, for the adoption of the plan. And I do want to echo Hank's and sort of finish his comment that this plan is not perfect, but it has been too long without an update to what the city of Miami is going to do for cyclists in Miami. Miami is one of the most unsafe places in the country to be a cyclist. It is also a solution for addressing the high cost of transportation and the traffic that has been plaguing us all. And that's why we're here to push for adoption and, most importantly, the smart implementation of the really good projects in this plan. So to that point, I do want to speak more to the amendment that we are advocating for along with the adoption of the plan today. And we're asking that within the next 6 months, the city comes back with a few recommendations, hopefully in a short format of under 12 pages. First, that outlines policy guidelines developed in consultation with the cycling community that will help the city staff to implement this plan efficiently and expeditiously. 10 high-priority projects that can be realistically completed within the next 5 years, and a commitment to update the plan and assess its progress within the next 5 years after the date that is adopted, so hopefully after today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Carla Cohen, located at 736 Northwest 59th Street, and I'm here to speak about PZ8. My address is included in a rezoning application that myself and another homeowner are also included in, but we did not apply for. So it's just created some concerns for us as homeowners of how it could affect us and why our zoning is being changed. We don't really understand what's going on and what the long-term implications are. We have asked questions, but we haven't really gotten any concrete explanation for what someone else's plans are for our own properties. So please consider that as you vote on this today. It is the second reading of it, and I've had many notices put on my property in reference to this, and I will show up for each one. So just please, thank you.
Ace? Ace, would you please step aside and speak to her about PZ8?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your advocacy. Good morning.
Good morning. My name's Maddie Kaufman, and I live at 2508 Southwest 19th Terrace. I'm the program director of Debris Free Oceans and lead Zero Waste Miami, which is a coalition of more than 100 businesses, governments, and nonprofits working to catalyze zero waste projects. And I was here because we just found out that free water refills are not being allowed at the Coconut Grove Arts Festival because of a contract with Coca-Cola. And so that's really reducing our capacity to reduce single-use plastics and is a public health issue because of water access, which is an inherent right. And there actually is someone who's ready to provide the water refill, and they do want to pay for them to do so, but the contract's prohibiting it. So I don't know if there's anything that can be done at this point, or if in the future there can be a policy to prevent contract language like that in the future. But I'm happy to work on this with any of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Cliff Losh. I'm a resident at 2811 South Bay Shore Drive. And I'd like to echo the opposition to FR4 and PZ12. The density that has occurred recently on some buildings that are being put up right now is problematic to the culture and living conditions in Coconut Grove. The idea that you could willy-nilly double the density anywhere a developer pleases is hard to imagine. I can't imagine why anybody could ever support that. Clearly, I think you'd have a tough time finding any residents in Coconut Grove that would support it, except maybe a couple in the big heads of the companies of the big developers. So why anybody would propose this to be applicable across the city is inexplicable. Somebody had mentioned that perhaps we just don't understand the measure. Well, pretty hard to understand, but if so, help us understand why it's such a good idea. I mean, clearly, lack of housing is an issue, and high-density development around transportation nodes might well make sense, but not in the middle of a place like Coconut Grove. That, I think, is about all I need to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Nicholas Thudan, Policy and Advocacy Manager for Transit Alliance Miami, 2150 Coral Way, Suite 7B. I'm here to speak on item RE6 and to ask this commission, what is a life worth to the city of Miami? This year alone, over 25 cyclists or pedestrians have been killed by drivers on our roads. Another 44 have faced life-altering injuries. In fact, on my way here this morning, I witnessed a cyclist who was nearly struck by a driver, despite the cyclists following the rules of the road. That Miami consistently ranks among the most dangerous cities in America to be a cyclist isn't simply a statistic. These are families who've been robbed of the chance to sit at the table with their loved ones this Thanksgiving. Spouses who've been left widowed, children who've lost parents, or parents who've had to bury their child. So again, I ask you, what is a life worth to the city of Miami? These deaths are entirely preventable. That's why I'm urging you not just to approve the updates to the Bike Master Plan, but to work with us in the cycling community to retroactively amend and implement this plan and guarantee adequate protections for all road users. We need this plan, without question, but it also does not go far enough. Together, we can do better. Thank you to the resolution sponsors for their leadership, and I plead with this board to vote with your conscience on this issue. Don't settle. Meet us a step further. We have technical feedback that we can provide to improve the plan, and we want to work with you to save lives. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Juan Crespi. I'm an architect. Offices at 227 Northeast 26 Terrace in Edgewater. And I'm speaking in support of the FR4 PZ12, which offers opportunities and options for the Edgewater community. I've been in Edgewater since the 1960s, first as a resident, then as an owner. And in 1980, I brought my business, Architects International, to Edgewater, where I'm presently located. I participated in the Miami 21 through representing the concerned citizens of Edgewater. And we're very proud of what Miami 21 has done. And improvements are always required. Miami 21 facilitated development. And development has occurred in the Bayfront properties extremely well. It has also in the Biscayne Boulevard frontage. But I really identify myself and my properties with more like infield properties. We're not in the Bay, we're not in Biscayne, we're caught in between 2nd Avenue and Biscayne, or in between the area of Biscayne and the Bay. These properties need help. We're caught between the high taxes and the numbers are not working for developers. In my own experience, the parking ratio is the issue. The FR4 and PC12 offer an opportunity by alleviating the parking ratio, provided you purchase into the Edgewater RTF. So it's not a free, there's a confusion with density. Density is there. There is no density increase. And the ability to provide less parking is what we need. These are going to be, the infill properties are like mid-level or mid-size, mid-rise.
Thank you.
And parking is the killing element. And I thank you, and I hope you vote for FR4 and PC12. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Claudia Anderson. I reside at 2600 Southwest 27th Avenue, Miami, Florida 33133. I'm sure you can guess what I'm here to talk about. This is my first time speaking at a city commission, so thank you so much for your time. I'm here because, as my peers ahead of me have said, investing in a dedicated Mike master plan is not only necessary in terms of saving time, saving money, but also lives. I was really happy to hear that some of the commissioners here are avid cyclists, which is great. That only, I think, adds more to the necessity to implement this type of master plan. It's about creating and fostering a community and a city of respect, because when drivers, pedestrians, and cyclists can operate harmoniously on the road, I think that showcases that a city cares for its residents and its visitors. My life shouldn't be in jeopardy because I don't own a car, so I want to add that as a global city, Miami needs a comprehensive bike plan, because this really demonstrates to residents but also to visitors that we are a forward-thinking community that offers a safe and dynamic transportation options, right, where we can have different abilities to move around in a way that's safe and also contributes to our health. I'd also ask that you implement the amendments that were put forth by the Transit Alliance Miami, and I really appreciate your time, and thank you so much for considering approving the Bike Master Plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Emily Copeland. I reside 1744 Lenox, Miami Beach. However, today I'm here on behalf of the Miami Yacht Club as its current Commodore. I've been a member for almost 8 years, and they've managed to have me on the board for all of those 8 years, so it's been a long time coming. First and foremost, I just wanted to thank the commissioners for your support just to get us here today as PH14. Obviously, we are in support of our future on Watson Island. Passage of PH14 would mean a historic moment for the Miami Yacht Club. We've been on Watson Island for almost over 80 years, and we will be celebrating 100 years as an organization in 2027. We are eager, with a new lease, we are eager to partner with the City of Miami, as we have in the past, to provide office space and dockage for the City of Miami Marine Patrol, as well as office space and dockage for the Watson Island Mooring Field Management Team. That's an important point for us, as we are very strong advocates for water safety, for our sailors and for recreational boaters on Biscayne Bay. A new lease would also afford us the opportunity to continue our long tradition of providing community access to the water, which is rare in Miami, as we all know. We will continue to promote sailing, environmental education, and public benefits that increase access for the city of Miami residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Bernice Yanes. I live at 500 Northeast 29th Street in Edgewater. I'm here in support of RE6. I biked here, or rather I biked to the train and then from the train biked here again. And let me tell you, from Edgewater up 29th Street to get into Government Center, not a nice bike ride. There's segments that have bike lanes, and those are great. You're like, I can be here. The parts where there are not bike lanes, I chant to myself, I pay taxes too. The streets are mine too. I pay taxes too. I can be here too. And really, I'm riding thinking to myself, if a car hits me, I'm not in the wrong. But if a car hits me, only I am hurt. So really, we do need to support this bike plan, this network, because people are on the streets and we are risking our lives. We're not going to stop riding, but if the streets were better, if they were more accessible to riders, and not just bikes, right? We have scooters, we have skateboards, we have that and also electric versions. We have people in wheelchairs, we have everything. Like the sidewalks are not accessible, it's not working for bikers either. But if it were, then there would be less cars on the street, would help with a lot of the traffic issues. And it really just make everything safer for those of us that are already on the streets. I don't own a car. I don't have an options to say. Today, I don't feel like biking. I don't feel like fighting people on the road. It's either I walk or I Uber, which is expensive. And we've all here been talking about how unaffordable it is to be in the city. I used to live in South Beach, and that was very nice. I'm not going to compare the density of South Beach to Miami. Those are different roads, but they do have bike lanes that will take you everywhere. Living at Edgewater, I'm so close to everything I need, but I can't bike there easily. Again, I'm on Biscayne. You can't bike down Biscayne. Then you're on the sidewalks with pedestrians. So I really urge the commissioners, really, we do need this network, this bike master plan with some of the amendments and additions, right? It's not perfect. And I invite all of you to come out biking with us. Commissioner King, and I said, do not call out people, but you said you haven't ridden in a while. I understand. And some of us know where it's a good place to start again. So I really would like to be out on the streets with you guys so we can really move this bike plan forward.
Thank you. Thanks. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Urella Baguette, 15 Madera Avenue, number 6, Coral Gables, Florida, 33134. Good morning, Commissioners. As the former Chief Bay Officer for Miami-Dade County, I'm here in support of the renewal of the lease for the Miami Yacht Club. The Miami Yacht Club is a historic gem on Biscayne Bay. And it's a place where the community has connected for generations on the waterfront. The club has a long positive record of service, blending recreation, environmental stewardship, and partnerships with local organizations such as the Seakeepers, Seaworthy Collective, Miami Waterkeepers, Blue Scholars, Volunteer Cleanup, and many, many others. This demonstrates their deep commitment to protecting Biscayne Bay and supporting the Miami's residents and visitors alike. So to secure a future for our community on the waterfront that's accessible to all is crucial and important, and let's keep this historic gem there on Biscayne Bay. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. My name is Zoheb. I biked here from 2745 Southwest 26th Street. I have been a Miami kid since 2003. I moved here. The first elementary school I went to in Miami was Tucker Elementary. I really love this city. I love South Florida. And every time I hear that Florida is the most dangerous state to be a cyclist in, it frustrates me because I think of so many times where I'm biking through Miami in springtime. I can smell the mango flowers. I can see the sunlight. It's a beautiful time. And then I nearly get run off the road. On my way here, I had to go through a bike lane that is on the right side of the right turning lane. And then eventually it's on the left side of the right turning lane. I don't know what is expected of me. I don't think drivers know what is expected of me. I stick to the sidewalk and I do my best to avoid the abuelitas. I am here in a strong support of RE6. I really want you guys to adopt a bike master plan with as many amendments as necessary to make it as ambitious for the city as possible. This should be the best place to bike in the United States. The weather is gorgeous. The trees are everywhere. It should be amazing to cycle here, and it just isn't because we have not built the infrastructure for it. Right now, cyclists are competing on the sidewalk with pedestrians who are rightly frustrated. Sometimes cyclists are on the road competing with drivers who are sometimes complaining about traffic. As a younger person, I'm also here in support of housing, and I know a lot of the frustration some people might have with that is with the traffic that comes with it. One way to get a lot of traffic off of our roads is to make it much, much easier for people to cycle instead. I strongly encourage you to support this plan and make whatever amendments are necessary to have an ambitious city. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Henrietta Schwartz. I live at 2627 South Bayshore Drive. No matter how many residents come to speak against egregious ideas, this commission votes in favor of developers. I'm wondering if this commission body is a training ground for developer lobbyists. Surprise us, listen to us, vote against double density, and vote against the Watson Island giveaway. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
My name is Mike Friedman. I'm the CEO of Alchemy Media. I'm here to speak on behalf of FR6. I wanted to thank Commissioners Rosado and Pardo for co-sponsoring this proposed ordinance. And I'd like to thank my colleagues for the amount of time and energy that they put into bringing this proposed ordinance to the Commission at this stage. I'm not here to speak against this proposed ordinance. It's a terrific idea, and it will absolutely help clean up graffiti in the city, as it has in other cities around the country. But I am here to advocate for a more balanced pilot program. A pilot's just that, it's a test to ensure that the city gets the results that it's looking for and the best results possible so that the city can evaluate the results of that pilot over time. I'm here to advocate for a more balanced pilot program than the proposed sole source program that's being pushed at this stage of the game. Two incredibly experienced entities that share common roots in street media and managing these types of programs for years in other major markets would give the city the best of all worlds and ultimately gives the city the ability to judge over time the program to see where it's been successful and where it needs to be tweaked and to be built upon. I guess in hindsight, if you look back, there's plenty of water in this tank, so to speak. There are more construction sites in the urban core of Miami that need cleaning up than any one entity could probably do sufficiently anyway. So I'm here to advocate for a more balanced, more competitive pilot program. So I thank you for your consideration. I thank you for your consideration, Commissioner, and I thank the board for their consideration as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Amy Morales, and I live at 829 Southwest 9th Avenue. And I'm here to speak on RE6 and urge you to fully fund the bike master plan. If we want to move towards a less car-dependent city, we must invest in biking infrastructure and planning that allows for communities to safely get to where they need to go. And that requires voting yes today, but continuing to amend the current plan to strengthen bicycling and pedestrian mobility. Florida ranks amongst the deadliest place for walking and biking. The city of Miami today can set a precedent of care and investment. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Tel Castellanos. I biked here from 4226 Southwest 62nd Avenue. And I am obviously here for an advocacy for the bike master plan. I think it'd be redundant to reiterate what has already been said. In reference to building healthier communities, lessening traffic, getting us out of our cars. And not only do we hope to get people out of their cars, but some of us, this is our main source of transportation. This is how we get around the city of Miami, biking and the train. This is how we move from job to job. This is how the workers move from their homes to their workplaces. I just also would like to remind you that, yes, we are the most dangerous state for bikers. We are the most dangerous state for bikers. And we plead that you pass this because I won't lie to you when I say that every day when I leave my house on my bike, I say, may I come home safely. I remind myself, may I come home safely. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. Alex Uribe with office at 2800 Ponce de Leon Boulevard. I'm here to speak on FR6. FR6 is an absolutely excellent pilot program. This is a very exciting potential way to address visual pollution in our urban core. The pilot program is well thought out, and the only thing we want to add is that the pilot program can absolutely benefit from competition in terms of providers beyond just a sole source. It's going to be good for the city's revenue. It's going to be good for the landowners. We're going to have options when it comes to who's going to provide that service. And I wanted to note that I was here last night for the PZAB review of the item, and the PZAB also agreed that competition is a vital aspect to improve the pilot program as it's currently written. So I would urge you to please look at that, open it up beyond a single source. Competition has only ever made things better all around. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for also in support of RE20. There are a lot of businesses in Wynwood that are dependent on the passage of that. So thank you very much, Madam Chair, for sponsoring that.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Jason Asturias. I reside in Edgewater, 425 Northeast 22nd Street. Sorry. I live, breathe Edgewater. I work around there. I go to the gym there. My life is Edgewater. I am here to support PC12. I think I've read it, and I think there are good things that can happen to a growing city, especially that area. I love Edgewater. So yeah, I'm here to support PC12, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Good morning. Morning.
Good morning. I'm Pauline Shepherd. I'm speaking for the resident in the neighborhood 1445 Northwest 38th Street. We are concerned about this 12-story building going up on the corner of 38th Street and 15th Avenue with the traffic and the people that have been thrown out of their home and have nowhere to live. Question number one, why is it we keep building these buildings and people have nowhere to live? We are being hassled with phone call to buy your property, and I think that's a scandal and a shame. We already paying taxes, high taxes. People have, the widows and the older people paying high taxes, high insurance. How could we keep up with the property? Somewhere to live. Say low rental. What is low rental? When people paying $1,200 and $1,500 a month for rent, that's not low rental. And we are concerned about the traffic on 38th Street and 39th Street. They come through speed like they're on I-95. We don't need that. And he's still building high-rise, and people have nowhere to live. You can't afford the house because there's no houses to buy. There's no apartment to buy. Everything is high-rise, and the rent is sky-high. We have no place to live today. And I'm only speaking for the resident on 38th Street and 39th Street and 40th Street. We are being forced out of the property. Homeowners, developers want to buy your property. You can't afford to sell your property because you have nowhere to live after you sell your property.
Thank you.
That is a concern.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Gregory Franco. I reside on Amathla Street in Coconut Grove. I'm here to speak about item PH 13. In 2024, the voters of the city of Miami approved the charter amendment to sell a 3.2-acre waterfront parcel on Watson Island to current lessees for fair market value. Today, you are set to vote to sell the parcel for $29 million. Common sense will tell you this is not fair market value. Residential waterfront lots in Miami-Dade County sell for more than $29 million. In 2023, developers put a group together to purchase the 15-acre Herald site across the water for $1.225 billion. And some of the developers just paid $200 million plus on a site similar size but permitted for fewer doors, 56 compared with 105 plus hotel rooms at Watson Harbor. But we don't need to use common sense alone. An appraisal commissioned by the city dated just 3 days ago appraised the value of the property between $257 and $342 million. The city defends the $29 million price tag by saying the value of the property is the value of the lease. They say they don't have the right to sell the property in what is called fee simple. This is magical realism. The truth is that this is not a sale of property subject to the lease. This is a sale of property to the lessee with a cancellation of the lease. Nothing stops them from turning around the next day and selling the property for $250 to $350 million, the true fair market value. And what did the taxpayers of Miami see in return? $25 million after $4 million going to the state and $9 million for affordable housing. The developers weren't originally even looking to buy the parcel. They just wanted a simple lease transfer and an extension. This purchase came about when the city asked for $9 million for affordable housing. Well, you got the $9 million, but you are leaving tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars on the table if you vote yes today. It's incumbent on the city commission today that it hit pause on this deal and renegotiate. Don't take part in the biggest sellout in the city of Miami history. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Barbara Simmons, and I reside at 1454 Northwest 39th Street. And Ms. Shepherd, who was just up here, she's my neighbor. She's been living in the area for over 50 years, and I've been there 44 years. What we're here, you know, I understand that people do need places to live. And this big apartment building you was talking about building right on 38th and 15th, 12 stories, you're taking away our privacy. People could be able to look down in the yard, knowing when you're going and coming. You know, it's not fair to us. The area is already congested. Cars, like she said, they speed up and down the streets. I done went to my commissioner office 3 times complaining about the overgrown trees along the 112 where it overgrown the light. Nothing has been done. Why are we keep voting these people in and they're not doing anything for us? And I'm getting tired of it. You know, I'm just an average homeowner who's trying to make it. You know, and I just want you all to think about us when it's time to come voting on these issues. Because we are homeowners who've been living there and we're not intending to move. And we, you know, we voted for you all because you promised us that you would do this and you would do that. And as the years pass, nothing happens. You know, we don't see you again in the neighborhood, you know. And I'm just saying, please, think about the homeowners. We can't afford to move. We can't, you know, the taxes are high, but we're willing to stay there and pay it. And I done raised my 2 children, me and my husband, but I lost my husband 4 years ago, and I'm a widow, and I'm still trying to make it. So you all think about us when you're talking about building these apartment buildings in a residential neighborhood, 12-story high. People going down I live on the one-way of 39th and 14th. People coming the opposite way. It's going to be a bad accident there one day. And people, you know, it's just sad.
Thank you.
Think about it.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Cecilia Tavera, 2 Groval Drive, Coconut Grove. I'm here to speak against PH 13. I've been a realtor since 1992, and in my experience and opinion, selling that part of Watson Island for $29 million when you have appraisals for over 240 million and another one for over 340 million makes no sense. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but even ChatGPT knows better than when asked about the value of the land. It said the land should sell between 150 million and 300 million with a recommended asking price to test the market of 240 to 260 million if the seller, quote, parentheses, city, can accept a safe sale, with some public use park and community benefit requirements. And this is ChatGPT, by the way, which I can't believe it. You have comparable residential lots that are selling for over $40 million to tear down the houses. There's a property that is listed for $99 million with an acre and a half. You have 3.5 acres in Watson Island that you're selling for $29 million. So I just do not understand. In my fantasy island dream, I would like to have a construction moratorium until our infrastructure can catch up. This is not dealing in the best interest of the city or your constituents or our environment. Commissioners, please do the right thing and pause before voting on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you. My name is Lori Bowen. I live at 50 Biscayne Boulevard. As I'm sure you're aware, 50 Biscayne is an integral part of the Bayfront Park community. I'm here to express concerns about FR5, the transfer of funds from the Bayfront Trust. The new organization and governance to replace the Bayfront Trust has not been agreed or voted upon. The community has had no engagement on how the dissolution of the trust will be managed, and specifically how the funds generated by Bayfront will be managed. It's important for our commissioners to understand that we're aware that Bayfront generates more profit than any other park in the city of Miami. These profits are generated by many things, but a big part is through the events that run in Bayfront. Events like Ultra and other concerts generate excessive noise, traffic, garbage, and disrupt the community enjoying their property, enjoying Bayfront Park and the neighborhood. Taxpayers and residents put up with this disruption because they know it's good for investment in the park and it supports downtown area businesses. If the taxpayers of Bayfront Park area are going to suffer with these concerts and have the profits go to other districts, this is a failure in government policy. My request is, for now, leave the funds in the trust, engage the community in the future of Bayfront, and let's get this right together. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Louis McMillan. I have worked in the Edgewater area for over 20 years at 235 Northeast 25th Street. And I'm here in full support of FR4 and PZ12. This is, in my opinion, a terrific example of productive and proactive policy because we're utilizing incentive to fund the local infrastructure that's needed. You know, infrastructure that you've been hearing for seawall and for drainage and for sidewalks and bike lanes. So the money raised in the area stays in the area, which is, I think, a very important thing some people are confusing. So I acknowledge the planning director, Snow, and assistant director, Savan, and the commissioner for the diligence and the proactive thought that's displayed in crafting this policy. And so, yeah, I urge you to vote yes, local incentive for local infrastructure development. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Marcos Loureiro, 627th Street, Edgewater. Good morning, city officials, commissioners, Madam Chairman. Congratulations on your re-election on November the 4th. I wish you a productive 4 years and successful. I came here for 3 topics. Number 1, RE9. This is the 3rd time I stand here supporting the independent Inspector General. In fact, Commissioner Pardo sponsored a work with Noriega's team, and I got to know Mr. Diaz. Was a very decent man. So I strongly support. I mean, we postponed twice. Hopefully today will be a day. The next one I want to mention is PZ12 and FR4. I've been living in Edgewater for 10 years, 35 in South Florida, but 10 years in Edgewater. And I would like to share a couple of observations that I sense. Number one, since I moved in 2015, many constructions came about. Paraíso, Biscayne Beach, Aria, Missoni, Elysee. Those developers provided funding, and the funding went to somewhere. We have issues in Edgewater. We have flooding. We have public safety. We have traffic. So we need to retain the funding where we live. Number two is, the second observation is regarding Miami 21. I know this was written a long time ago. However, it's a little bit loose in some areas. I don't want to go into details, but I participated in a session here where a developer put a tiny little park and was able to boost his building.
Thank you.
So just to conclude, reading the material, I support those two items. Thank you.
That's okay. I don't need an intro. I'm with you. Good morning, Chairwoman. James Torres, President of Downtown Neighbors Alliance, representing thousands of downtown residents, the very people who fund the DDA through its special tax. I will be speaking on DI4, the Doge item. I'm here to say what many already know. The DDA's culture of waste, bloated staff, and misrepresentation of our tax dollars still continues. Months of this board has promised accountability, promised change in terms of its direction. That has yet to come to fruition. Let's be honest, we're still living with the simple fact of a $700,000 luxury high-rise building in which the DDA looks down on its peasants. We have a staff that makes over $100,000, and many of that are not even here to serve. We also have a budget that's built for insiders, consultants, and PRs, not the residents. Just a few weeks ago, the DDA did exactly what it always does. It recently cut a check for $10,000 to the Millionaires Boys Club for a boat race at Biscayne Bay. This particular race is owned and operated by Tom Brady, Will Smith, and Mark Anthony, just to show that these billionaires still came to the DDA and received a check for $10,000, which is all taxpayer money. None of these people needed the $10,000. Downtowners asked for relief, and we still continue to ask for that relief, Chairwoman. The $10,000 could have covered other items that the downtown corridor desperately needs. Graffiti removal, trees, planting, cleaning up of streets, and other items that make the community more visible. We're pleading with this board once again to start looking at what is already here before on a DI4 item, and we welcome Doge to come here before anything else. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. John Porter, 14100 Northwest 1st Avenue. I'm here speaking on PH14. I'm the Vice Commodore of the Miami Yacht Club. That's a sailor's way of describing the Vice President of a sailing club that just wants an opportunity to share a love of sailing and the joy of being out on the bay with our community. I want to thank all of the commissioners, all of your staff for being such great partners and so supportive throughout this process. As we look to the next chapter of this community campus, I have great admiration for everyone here who sees our vision, who knows what our mission is, and are ready to come aboard, all of the opportunities that are before us on the horizon. Thousands of Miamians have found a love of our bay on our campus, a love of sailing, boating. They've learned about resiliency, preservation, stewardship, and it's all happened at the Miami Yacht Club. And so I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
My name is Geraldine Ordonez. It's my first time speaking here, and it's a pleasure to see my government at work. I am here on behalf of the Master Bike Plan, although I think my shirt says it very well. And as a resident of Lagami, I'm an advocate for safe streets. I got here by bicycle, and that means I reside at 4298 Southwest 5 Terrace, which means I had to take Lejeune, I had to take 27th Street, and I had to navigate through a lot of inconsistencies in the bike path. Sometimes I felt safe, sometimes I had to share my space with the sidewalk and the pedestrians. And I feel very strongly that we need to improve the safety of our streets. We need to improve them for all of us, for the cyclists, for the riders, for the pedestrians. And so I also would like to ask that you take our input into this master plan, that it is also written with input by the community. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for your advocacy. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Alessandro Langhoff. I live at 1933 Southwest 22nd Terrace. I am a sailor at Miami Yacht Club. I sail high-performance catamarans. It is second nature to me. I would like to ask the commissioners that you guys renew the lease and continue supporting our club's long history and traditions. Miami Yacht Club is unique in that we can host high-performance sailing events. In fact, right this weekend, we are hosting an Olympic development program with sailors that are going to Portugal to represent our country. But high-performance sailing is not only what Miami Yacht Club does. It is also the perfect place to learn to sail, with hundreds of dedicated coaches, including myself. My little brother is in fact learning to sail there. I am coaching him as well. My hope is to represent this country in the future Youth Olympics. I ask that you guys please renew the lease of Miami Yacht Club and keep our traditions alive. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Tomas Kennedy, City of Miami resident. So I just want to start out by saying that y'all have really outdone yourself with the agenda today, because it's hard to keep track of the amount of public money and property that it's being given away to special interests. I actually feel that if I sprinkled holy water in the place today, sparks will start flying. But I'm going to focus on the FIFA giveaway that's being proposed. Please do not give away another $7.5 million in sports welfare to FIFA. You're not bidding on anything. They don't need any incentive, and they're already bringing the World Cup here. And they've already been giving $5 million in cash from the city on top of the $60 million given by the county. They don't need it. And you know who needs the $7.5 million of in-kind services from the city? Your constituents and us, the residents. And I just want to tell the public, we are told that this city doesn't have the money or the capability to restore cultural landmarks like the Playhouse, like the Olympia Theater. And we are being asked to give $7.5 million to FIFA, one of the wealthiest organizations in the world, that's already been given over $60 million from the county and $5 million from the city. No. Vote down the $7.5 million. Thank you. And thank you, Commissioner Gabella.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairwoman King. Horacio Stewart Aguirre as Vice Chair of the Bayfront Park Management Trust today. This morning, I'd like to brief comment about that topic. This is 60 acres, 28 on one side and 32 on the other side of one of the most prestigious parks in the state of Florida, probably the only crown jewel that we have of such in the city of Miami and certainly Miami-Dade County. The trust has done a magnificent job over many, many decades. There has been areas of improvement. There have been areas where things weren't done as optimally as could have been, but by and large, we do a great, great job. It's a very difficult task. It's not just a soccer field. It's not a baseball diamond. As a matter of fact, it's none of that. It's an international venue. It's a recreational site. It's a place where friends and lovers and families and children go to play, go to reflect, go to rediscover life, go to see the beauty. It's also a business that generates a fair amount of money to be self-sustaining. Our park right now is in need of renovation. The money that we have in our coffers is sorely, sorely needed to renovate a park that has not been renovated in decades. So I'm here to urge you to retain the Bayfront Park Management Trust to do the job that it does, to run a park, run a business, and see this park into the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Katrina Morris. I live in District 2. I am urging the Commission to vote against FR4 and PZ12. The supposed Future Resilience Fund, which has not been defined in any way. I also could not find staff report anywhere publicly accessible. It mentions affordability as one of the possible benefits. According to the 2020 to 2024 analysis of impediments to fair housing choice for the city of Miami, there are 31,779 vacant housing units, which represents 15.7% of total units in the city. That's high even for a seasonal area. However, and this is important, not all of those are available in the usual housing market. The same report says that 18,755 of those vacant units are for recreational, seasonal, or occasional use, or are owned or rented, but just not occupied. So this would double density with zero requirements for affordable housing, workforce housing, which is 120% of AMI, which ends up to about, is it 90,000 per year that you can make to qualify for affordable housing? And they don't even want to do that. That is all.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners, Chairwoman King, Commissioner Rosado, Gabriela Ampardo. I'm here to speak on PZ 16. Commissioner Rosado's item. First of all, I want to commend the city on behalf of Crown Castle on taking up this ordinance to update communications towers and facilities. It's, the city's commitment to improving wireless connectivity for residents, businesses, and government services is a key component of upgrading infrastructure, so I want to thank you so much. Crown Castle, we are the nation's leading provider of shared communications infrastructure. We have, just in the city alone, we have over 30 cell towers, numerous rooftop attachments, about 400 small cells, and over 250 miles of route fiber. There are a couple of items that in the ordinance that I think that we would like to work with you and seeing if there's any possibility to amend our view on some of the language. For example, distinguishing single carrier, multi-carriers is impractical. Some of the requirements being asked for landscaping buffers, while it's really important for aesthetics, it poses additional risks for fire. Sometimes in an urban environment is not as feasible and does not really provide that meaningful visual mitigation. Also, where possible, we really want to be able to make sure that we have not limiting towers to 3 co-locations, right? We want to be able to co-locate as much facilities to not encourage more facilities to be built. I have submitted my comments to you all, and I thank you so much for your consideration.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hi, John Dolson, 4205 Lennox Drive, Coconut Grove. I wasn't going to come down here today, but I was watching it on TV from home because I'm heading to Colorado tomorrow, and we're packing up. But I saw those bicyclists down here, and I thought, if I go down there on my car, it's probably going to take me 45 minutes to get down here and park, but I could be there in 12 minutes on a bike, lock it up front, and then go home, and I'll have time to get ready. So I think you need to pass this bike ban. It's long overdue. This stretch through Coconut Grove, 5-mile stretch through Coconut Grove, is the most dangerous bike path, I think, in Florida. To the north of it and to the south, those are paths that are in really good shape. So that's one thing. Secondly, as a geologist, you've got a real challenge ahead of you. Sea level rise is real. I teach out at the University of Miami. Sea level rise has been 8 inches in the last 50 years. It averages a foot per year. It's coming. And I'll give you a radical notion, and I already heard it once today. Put a moratorium on building more things along the coast. Stick your money where your mouth is. We know the sea level rise is coming. We know the infrastructure is stretched. So just put a halt to it. Turn that into public spaces. So I oppose FR4, PZ12, The Watson Island thing, I don't get. I'd like to see these things go back to workshops for the public so that people have a chance to better understand the finances. Lastly, Miami does have a terrible track record of actually spending what's been allotted in the right spot. So put some oversight on whatever you do. Thank you very much. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you.
Back home now.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Armando Rodriguez. I am here for PC12 and FR4. I am a property owner in Edgewater, and I have been a community activist in Edgewater for the last 40 years. I'm a founder of the Concerned Citizen of Edgewater Neighborhood Association. I was involved in opening a police mini station in Edgewater, stopping the movement of Camilo House to Edgewater with San Maria Edgar and Dorothy Quintana, opposing to the container park of the Port of Miami in Edgewater, and a member of the Northeast Task Force with Janet Reno. I'm 80 years old. I have been a college professor all my life and a teacher and a school administrator. I am not a developer. I am not associated with developers. And I'm here to favor PC12 and FR4 for Edgewater, particularly for the area between 25th and 36th Street. With the exception of one person, all the zoning board approved this a month ago. I'm only speaking for Edgewater. We have been over a year working on this proposal, so much needed in Edgewater. This will give Edgewater the funds to solve the flooding problems and other issues that we are facing today. I want to bring to your attention, commissioners, something very important.
Thank you.
Something very important. Most of the people that were in favor of this today were either activists, property owners, or business people in Edgewater. I wonder if the people that were opposed are activists, property owners, or business in Edgewater. Please approve this today. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning, Billy Corbin, Madam Chair. Congratulations on your re-election, proving the adage that in a democracy, people get the government they deserve. I'm here on FR4, 5, PH 13, RE 18, 22, 29, everything. This is not an agenda. This is a Miami Mafia hit list. A minefield of payoffs and giveaways. It's a robbery in real time, in broad daylight, and the victims, once again, are your constituents, the taxpayers. You're not public servants today, you are lobbyists, facilitating the city's largest ever transfer of wealth and property from your struggling constituents to millionaire and billionaire developers, special interest and sports team owners, aka the prospective future employers of the city manager and the mayor. Isn't it ironic that on Give Miami Day, you are giving Miami away for pennies on the dollar? I lost count. There's at least $500 million in public cash and real estate on the table, and you should not be voting on anything other than essential services today. Everything should be deferred until the new mayor, new commissioner, and new city manager take office. In case you haven't figured that out yet, you cannot trust this city manager. Don't listen to him. All he does is lie to you. This is his and the mayor's last chance to steal from us. On their way out the door, they will be gone, and you will still be here dealing with the consequences. Keep this up, you're all going to get recalled. Voters were promised fair market value for their Watson Island property. $29 million for land your own appraisal says is worth as much as $340 million is not fair market value. Voters were promised a public park in Melreese before the soccer stadium opened. Why does the Resilience Fund area for Edgewater include Watson Island and the Venetian Islands? That is not Edgewater. Don't give another $7.5 billion in sports welfare to FIFA. They don't need the money, your constituents do. And of course you should stop paying Joe Carollo's legal fees. You should have done it years ago. Most importantly, you should instruct the next city manager to immediately initiate collection proceedings to get back the $20 to $30 million that Joe Carollo owes the taxpayers. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Paul Meyer. I live at 2130 Southwest 22nd Terrace, Shenandoah. So I came to share my opinion on FR4 to vote against it. Just in my neighborhood, they built a huge building, and they're looking down now on my neighbors' backyards. Now when the water and it rains too much, they have to pump out their garage. And they have a big tube that comes and that goes on Southwest 22nd Terrace, floods the streets, blocks the sun. I could go on. I think people have said enough about this. But I was inspired today by these young people with bike helmets on, and I thought I'd hopefully have a minute to say something about that from my 3-year-old daughter, Luna. She loves to bike ride. And 25 people have gotten killed this year. Didn't think I'd get emotional. 25 people killed, 40 maimed. I feel like that's going to happen with me and my 3-year-old daughter. I drive defensively. I'm so happy to hear that people are fighting for this. We need to be a biking city to protect people, to reduce pollution. And, my daughter just says, every morning, let's go to the Parque with El Árbol Grande. And sometimes I don't want to go on my bike with my 3-year-old daughter because we could get killed or we could get maimed. So, wow, it's pretty embarrassing to be in front of you all. But, hey, she's 3 years old. She can't talk too well, so... let's protect our parks, protect our streetways. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Joel Rodriguez, 227 Northeast 25th Street. So I'm here regarding RF4 and PZ12 in support. So my wife and I stumbled into Edgewater in 1996. And in spite of the rehabs and the drugs and the prostitution, we fell in love with the potential. And even without knowing, we end up dedicating the rest of our life to this community. By 1999, we're living at 3300 Biscayne Boulevard. And our son comes into our life, and a few years later, our daughter. And fortunately, because of all the hard work of concerned citizens of Edgewater, you can put 2 little kids in your car, in a stroller, and walk down Biscayne without any of the concerns that my wife and I used to have. The item that we're talking about today is going to provide critical infrastructure that Edgewater desperately needs that'll last in Edgewater for years and years to come. And not only that, it does encourage developers to build more obtainable housing opportunities, obtainable ownership. Today, a developer can live local and build 1,000 units to the acre, more than 3 times of what's even being suggested today, and pay $0 into this fund. So if we want, my request for the commission is to consider saying yes to this item so that the money that comes into Edgewater stays in Edgewater. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Miguel Soliman, 1436 Southwest 6th Street. First of all, congratulations, Madam Chair, for your excellent win. I'm here, want to congratulate also Commissioner Rosado in support of RE7. It's good to see that, I envy, from District 3, I envy his continuing roadway improvement. We don't have it in District 3. I also am in support of RE8. I think the appointment of Horacio Aguirre is an excellent choice. Also, I'd like to see RE9. I'd like to support. I think it's about time we get Anthony Diaz as an independent inspector. I think that's long overcoming, and we need to get that done. I'd also like to speak on item PH8. I'm all for affordable elderly rental housing projects for low-income seniors. I just want to make sure that we don't fall into the trap, like, for example, in the Robert King High complex. That property was supposed to be 100% for low-income seniors. We wind up having buildings there that have 20% of the apartments are low-income for seniors and 80% so-called affordable housing, which is equal to market value, sometimes even higher rents than market value. Our property, our city properties that were donated for the purpose of helping our seniors are being used by developers and only providing 20%. Please make sure that's not the case on PH8. Thank you very much, and happy Thanksgiving to all.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak on behalf of any of the items here before us today? Seeing none, public comment period is now closed. Gentlemen, may I have a motion for AM 1, 2, 3, and 4, that is City Commission meeting minutes for September 11th, 2025, first budget hearing September 13th, 2025, City Commission meeting September 25th, 2025 minutes, and AM 4, second budget hearing minutes for September 25, 2025. I heard one motion. Do I have a second? I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Item carries unanimously. Gentlemen, are there any items on the consent agenda that you would like to pull for discussion?
No.
Commissioner, okay. Then may I have a motion for CA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, and 11?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Gentlemen, may I have a motion for the pocket items? Pocket item 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
So moved.
Pocket item, can you repeat what those pocket items are again? Because I got it a little bit.
Okay, Mr. City Attorney, would you read the pocket items, the titles of the pocket items?
Yes, Madam Chair. And Mr. City Clerk, could you, I don't have PI1.
Yes, PI1 is just a simple resolution appointing Andres Rivero to the mayor's vacancy on the Virginia Key Advisory Board.
2. PI2 is a resolution of the Miami City Commission appointing Commissioner Ralph Rosado as a member of the Florida League of Cities.
3.
3 is a resolution of the Miami City Commission by 4/5 affirmative vote after public hearing pursuant to Section 2-614 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, making findings and waiving the conflict of interest provisions contained in 2-612 of the City Code to enable the city manager to enter in an expert consulting agreement with Robert W. Holland through his firm, the law offices of Robert W. Holland, LLC, to transact business with and for the City of Miami, and providing for an effective date. PI4, a resolution of the Miami City Commission authorizing an interlocal agreement and a form acceptable to the City Attorney between the Midtown Community Redevelopment Agency, Midtown CRA, and the City of Miami to allow for the City Manager to designee to provide administrative support services to the Midtown CRA on a temporary basis until an Executive Director of the Midtown CRA is appointed, authorizing the City Manager or designee to negotiate and execute the interlocal agreement in a form acceptable to the City Attorney and to do all things necessary to effectuate this resolution, providing for the incorporation of recitals and effective date. And then finally, PI5 is an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 55, Section 5510 of the Code of the City of Miami as amended, entitled Subdivision Regulations, Building Permits, Issuance, Restrictions, Exceptions to exempt Miami-Dade County-owned property in unplatted land, which is exempt from county platting requirements, containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date. Those are the 5.
Thank you. I'm ready.
May I have a motion for PI 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I am voting P1 yes, P2 yes, P4 yes, P5 yes, no on P3.
Okay, so Chair, yeah, we need to.
P3.
P3 no.
Right.
Okay.
So let's just go ahead and reconsider the vote that
Okay.
was taken. So if there's a motion to reconsider?
For what?
Well, because the
You
motion.
want me to do them all over again?
Well, because Commissioner Gabella wants to vote no, I
on
believe. PI3.
Yes.
But the motion that was just passed was for 1 through 5. So
Okay, all right.
I don't think
May I
Commissioner
have-
Gabella wants to vote no for all.
May I have a motion for PI 1?
Well, so if we could reconsider the motion that was just
just for
made for 1
P3?
through 5. No, the motion that was just made was for 1
Okay,
through
I
5.
got you. Okay, may I have a motion to reconsider?
So moved.
Second. I have a motion and a second to reconsider the pocket items. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now, may I have a motion for PI 1, 2, 4, and 5?
So
Second.
second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. May I have a motion for PI 3, pocket item 3?
Hold it, whoa, back it up. Sorry, I mistook that for something else. Mistake on my part. Guilty as charged. Let's take, that vote was unanimous. I withdraw my motion, and I'm all for the PI items like yourselves. I mistook that item for
Okay,
something
okay.
else. I apologize.
So
My apologies.
PI3 is in place. So if we have a motion and a second, let's just go ahead and vote. So
I believe Vice Chair asked for the title of PI 3. You, George.
I'm sorry, someone asked me a question. What were you?
Pocket item 3,
Read it again?
the title for
Yes,
Vice
sorry
Chair.
about that. PI3, a resolution of the Miami City Commission by a 4/5 affirmative vote after public hearing pursuant to Section 2-614 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, making findings and waiving the conflict of interest provisions contained in Section 2-612 of the City Code to enable the city manager to enter into an expert consulting agreement with Robert W. Holland through his firm, the law offices of Robert W. Holland, LLC, to transact business with and for the City of Miami and providing for an effective date.
To have a motion and a second.
Second.
All
All
in
in favor?
favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. We are on the PH items. Are there any items that you would like to pull from the PH items? That would be PH 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, or 15. PH 13 will be heard after the break.
And Chair, my apologies just briefly. Commissioner Rosado would like to be shown as a co-sponsor for PH1. Thank you.
Okay.
Items are in place,
Except,
13 after the break.
and PH 8 is deferred until 12/11, December 11th.
Okay.
So motion.
I have a-
Second.
I have a motion.
Except 13, for all except 13.
Right. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Gentlemen, are there any items from the RE items that you would like to pull for discussion?
I got a list.
For RE?
Yeah. RE2, RE8,
Oh,
RE9.
wait. Let me, wait, hold on. Okay, you said RE2,
RE2, RE9,
RE9,
RE10.
RE10.
RE10 I want to defer, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. RE10 I want to defer.
You want to,
Yeah, that's mine.
Madam Chair, I just realized that RE2, there was a request to defer it to the January 22nd meeting. I didn't include it in the order of the day. I know Commissioner Gabella wants to pull it, but for discussion, but I had intended to defer that item.
okay, well, we have another one that wants to be deferred. RE10, you said you want to defer, Commissioner Gabella?
Yes, that's mine, so I want to defer that one.
Okay, So I'm going to take a vote on that. Are there any other items that you want to pull for discussion with the REs?
Yeah, 11,
RE 11,
which I'm sure some of you want to discuss it. 13.
13.
No, I'm good on 13. I'm sorry.
You're good on 13.
I'm good on 13. Okay. Bear with me here. 22, it's a vote up and down, but something's changed, so RE 22. And 29.
29. Commissioner Pardo, do you have any items on the REs that you would like to pull for discussion?
RE 18.
RE 18. Okay. Commissioner Rosado, are there any items that you would like to pull for the REs?
I'd like to pull RE6.
RE6.
And no other items.
Okay. Vice Chair?
Items that have been deferred so far,
For the resolutions are
either deferred or assigned to another meeting or withdrawn.
RE 28 has been withdrawn,
RE 28,
correct? RE 28 and 27 have been withdrawn.
okay.
Could we go through them?
Who just asked that?
That was me.
Oh,
Madam Chair.
okay, I'm going to go, okay. So for now, we have items that are being pulled is RE2.
No, it's going to be deferred.
You want to
No, he said he was going to defer.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
But he missed it, right? This one.
Okay, RE2 will be deferred and RE10 will be deferred. May I have a motion to defer RE2 and RE10?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
That is to the December 11th meeting? December 11th.
December 11th, okay with you? Art?
Well, for RE2, it was January 22nd.
And RE2, January
22nd.
22nd or 20?
January 22nd, the
22nd,
second
okay.
meeting in January.
Okay, January 22nd.
So, my apologies. So, RE2 is to
January
defer,
22nd, deferred.
and RE10 is to what date?
December 11th. Okay, and what remains that has been not, well, I'll tell you what was pulled.
You know what? You can defer RE10 indefinitely. I'm done. RE10.
Well, you can just withdraw it.
Okay, withdraw. RE10.
Okay. Todd, do you need another motion to withdraw it?
No, so right now we still have a motion on the floor. The motion on the floor is to defer RE2 to January 22nd, 2026. Now, RE10 is going to be withdrawn.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
I did it already, but just so you make sure. Okay.
RE9 was withdrawn?
No,
Or deferred?
RE9 is pulled for discussion.
Okay, all right.
So I'll tell you what we have pulled for discussion. We have RE6 pulled for the discussion. RE9 pulled for discussion. RE11 is pulled for discussion. RE18 is pulled for discussion. RE22 pulled for discussion.
Okay.
And RE29 is pulled for discussion.
All right.
Okay. Anyone else wants to pull any items for discussion? All right.
No, but I did want to give a quick shout out to the DDA for their support of the Brickell Avenue Bridge plaque.
Okay.
The residents are happy about that. So.
Okay. So may I have a motion for RE1, RE3, RE4, RE5, RE7, RE8, RE12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, RE19, 20, 21, 23, 24, 25, 26. Have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, Chair. So there's a couple of things that I need to do here. So RE1 will be as amended pursuant to a substitution memo dated November 18, 2025, in addition to submitting a memo into the record as backup documentation. So that's RE1. RE3 is to be amended to include Florida statute information.
RE19.
I'm almost there, sorry. My apologies. So RE19 will be amended pursuant to a substitution memo dated November 12, 2025. RE26 will be amended pursuant to a substitution memo dated November 12, 2025. And I also, for RE9, that's been pulled. And for RE14, I have a submittal by Commissioner Rosado. So for RE14, there's a submittal, and that is all I have. Thank you, Chair.
So I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. At this time, gentlemen, I would like to break for lunch, and if we may, take up the Midtown CRA very quickly. Is that okay? Before we break? Okay. Let's flip the tape and get the Midtown CRA. Thank you, everyone. We will resume 2 hours after the completion of the Midtown CRA. That we're in recess for the City of Miami Commission meeting for November 20th, 2025. Thank you. Are we ready? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Midtown CRA meeting for November 20th, 2022. I will read the order of the day because we don't have a chair. The AM1 Midtown CRA minutes for October 30th will be considered. RE1 acceptance proposal for the external auditing services, and RE2 is appointment of the Midtown CRA executive director. At this time,
Madam Chair, if I may, Dominique Gibbs on behalf of the City Attorney's Office as General Counsel for the Midtown CRA. Item 2 is going to be withdrawn, and everyone should have received a pocket item, which is a resolution between the City of Miami and the Midtown CRA to allow for the city manager or a designee to provide administrative support services to the CRA on a temporary basis until an executive director of the CRA is appointed.
Thank you, Madam City Attorney. At this time, is there anyone here that would like to speak on behalf of any of the items before us? Seeing none, public comment is now closed. Gentlemen, may I have a motion?
Second.
I have a motion and a second for AM1, AM2, and pocket item 1.
Okay, so that's AM1,
Hold on.
RE1.
Commissioner Gabella?
Yeah, I just want to put it on the record that I am going to be voting for this to help you guys. But I want to put it on the record, the agreement that was done in this chamber about a year ago regarding the Midtown CRA and the pass-through that was coming to the city, then was going to be diverted to the Alapata CRA. You know, I just want to remind you guys what the deal was, because we're you know, the audio tape is there and everything's here. So I'm just making a polite, you know, remember what you guys promised, what we agreed on when we established the Alapata CRA. So I'm going to be going along with this, but I hope that the commitments that were made when we took a vote on that item on the Alapata CRA are honored. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
If I could just add something to that, because I think I've been very supportive of the Alapata CRA concept, but I know at the county and state levels it may be a harder push. If there's another vehicle to get supplemental dollars into Alapata, I'm happy to support that, whether it's an expansion of a neighborhood revitalization district or some other vehicle. I know how much that means to the commissioner, and I think Alapata is an area that deserves additional financial attention. So I'm happy to support some other way to get to that if possible.
Thank you very much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
your help.
And Chair, my apologies, just for the record, a memo will be submitted as a backup document for RE1.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Items passed unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen, for your advocacy and support. At this time, the Midtown CRA meeting is now concluded. The City of Miami Commission will resume 2 hours from, what time is it? 2:30. 2:30. Thank you. And